and these might actually be a shutdown.
Perfect.
Hello there broskies, Erkin back here with another video. This is of course the Skepta and Nike's collaboration to the Air Max Tailwind 5. Mr. Joseph Jr. Adenuga, aka Skepta. He's one of the GOATs in my opinion when it comes to grime. He's actually in my top 5 of all time, and one of the reasons why I'm such a fanboy to Skepta, not only because of his music, his style, and of course his source, but he's actually so local to me. I grew up around Walthamstow, which is in East London, and he's from down the road in Tottenham, which for everyone else is in North London. So without any more waffle, let's crack on with these trainers. Now this is the 5th collaboration with Nike and Skepta, and of course the first one was the Air Max 97, which was inspired by the Air Tuned Max. The colours on that silhouette are just so saucy, and that first release was in 2017, and it wasn't long after, in 2018, we had 2 Skepta and Nike collaborations. We next had the Air Max 97/BW, which was a nice summer shoe, I guess, the whites, the blues and the reds. And I'll be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of this collaboration. And also in the same year, we had the Nike Air Max Deluxe with Skepta, and this is still one of my favourite Skepta sneakers. There's just something about that black and red. And then in 2019, we had the Nike Shox TL, and I actually reviewed this sneaker, and if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down below. I'm not the biggest Shox fan, and that's maybe why I didn't like it as much, and it has been 2 long years since his last collaboration. This year we have the Air Max Tailwind 5. Now Nike are really trying to push the Tailwind 5 as of recent. Last year I did review the SP version to the Tailwind 5, and I'm not gonna lie, it was very underwhelming in my opinion. But even the recent releases we've had to the Tailwind 5, it hasn't really hit off. And even for me, I'm more of a fan of the Tailwind 4. The roundness of that trainer is just more my type. But of all the collaborations that Nike and Skepta have worked on, where does this sneaker fall on that list? And stick around to the end where I give my personal list. But these did actually have a general release in the UK on the 2nd of April. But there was also a shock raffle on Air Max Day, which was actually on the Nike Sneakers app. And it was a nice little rollout, but it was very subtle as well. But I guess this is one of those sneakers, it's more for culture than it is hype. If you appreciate the grime scene, and of course if you appreciate Skepta, then you're gonna gravitate to it anyway. Now these did retail at £160 here in the UK, but what are we thinking so far? Comment down below. So having a look at this box, and I'm so glad they did something special. We of course have on both outer sides the SK Air with the blue colour, and for me that is such a nice touch. On top we've got that glossy finish with the Nike branding, but on the product sticker it does read Air Max Tailwind 5 Skepta, and the official colorway is black and chrome. I'll be honest, this isn't the silhouette I thought Nike and Skepta would have collaborated on next. It does have a red version coming out as well, and I'm kind of torn between the two in terms of what I like most. There's just something about that red version, and it's kind of like picking your favorite Pokemon when you start that game. Side note, it was always Charmander for me, but having a more detailed look around this silhouette. And one thing I found really cool in terms of the story behind this inspiration is that this sneaker is inspired by the butterfly. If you look at this sneaker from a bird's eye view, you can see the shape of it, just in terms of its wings and how they spread. Now the importance of the butterfly for this inspiration is that it signifies growth. Of course, the caterpillar goes into a cocoon and then becomes a butterfly. So that signifies his growth within his work and his life. But there's a lot going on with this sneaker. One thing that stands out straight away is of course that blue. It does look like it's sort of photocopied on top, which I found really cool. But we've got those glossy black overlays in that TPU material. And on both sides, we've got the metallic silver Nike swooshes. Now this toe box is where it can sort of divide you. When I first saw the toe box, I was very disappointed. It sort of rounds off, but then it's sort of squared at the same time. And I didn't like that at all on the Tailwind 5 SP. But this does do a better job in terms of the look. It's got that subtle leather, and of course it rounds off the front. But making our way to this standard setup to the lacing. There's not many eyelets, and I'm not so mad at that. It's got the same blue effect on the tongue, but at the top we've got the SK Air and Tailwind. Now this silver grey panel we're going to come back to, because there's a lot to say on this sort of material. But this does also come with spare laces as well. Now inside on the sock liner it's got this sort of diced look, which in some lighting can look like velour. And on the insole we've got the SK Air branding. Now making our way to the heel counter, this is where it's happening. This has so many different colours just based on what your lighting conditions are. If you do shine light directly onto it, it's got that sort of thermogenic look, which apparently was inspired by the Ignorance is Bliss album cover. So this can always change the colour of it, which is so cool. And going back to the tongue, we have that same material just on top. But we've got that Max Air branding in the middle, and what attaches to it is those chrome finishes. Now the lateral side is a bit louder than the medial, but the chrome does stand out either way. Now this midsole is your standard Tailwind 5 midsole, with the air units at the back and of course the forefoot, which does have the Air Max Plus look to it. And the colour of the outsole is of course black with hints of grey and that blue. Right, so there we have it, the Air Max Tailwind 5 SK Air. And I'll be honest, I'll be the first to admit it, I didn't really think I'd like these as much in person. When I got that email that I won the raffle, I kind of looked at it and thought, did I really? Like why? The one I didn't want, I got it. But I'll put my hands up and I'll say I'll take it back. Now in terms of the sizing with this silhouette, it does fit very much true to size. It does fit like the Air Max 90, the Air Max 95 and even the Tailwind 5. But overall, I would say it's true to size. Now where do these fit in terms of Skepta's 5 collaborations with Nike? Now this is all my personal opinion, so don't shoot the messenger. At first, I have to give it to the Air Max 97. There is just something about that sneaker. And that 97 silhouette is one of my favourite Air Maxes of all time. So it's only right I put that at the top. Now at second spot, and it's a very close call as well, I have to give it to the Air Max Deluxe. There is something so stealthy yet so eye-catching about that sneaker. But at third, this is where I'm placing this sneaker. Some of you are going to argue in the comments right now, but this is of course my preference. I'm going to go third out of his 5 collaborations. And if you're wondering, I'm going to go the Shox TL next and then the BWs. But where would you rank his collaborations? Comment down below. Okay, so we've established I am a Skepta fanboy, and I'm trying to be as subjective as I can with this sneaker. Even posting these up on my Instagram, they are very, very popular. But with all that aside, I still have to pick whether these are a buy or a buy. I am really digging this sneaker. I'm liking the design, I'm liking the colors, but there's just one problem. In my opinion, I just think it was on the wrong sneaker. I really wish it was on the likes of the Air Max 90, the Air Max 1, the Air Max 95, even the Huarache. And maybe it's Nike trying to push the Tailwind 5 on us and boost those sales. But with all that aside, I really do like how these feel on foot. They are very, very comfortable. I didn't like the Tailwind 5, the one I reviewed. I felt like it was a very stiff midsole. But it seems that Nike and Skepta have fixed that problem. These were very hard to take off once I put them on, I'll be honest. It does have that Air Max Plus vibe in terms of its comfort. But thinking about it now, there's a lot more I do like about this sneaker than I don't. And yes, it may not be on the Air Max that I really wanted it to happen, but there are so many things I really do like. So I'm gonna give this Air Max Tailwind 5 Skepta collaboration a buy. But broskies, comment down below what your thoughts are on this sneaker. Did you manage to cop a pair at retail? Or are you waiting for that red colorway? Leave it all down below and I will be pinning the best comment. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. Don't forget, show me some love on the IG as well. I do try to reply to everyone, so if you got any questions, then hit me up on there. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. And of course, until the next episode, take care.